Hi, Gibaud.com, and the big question, do you believe in miracles? I don't know if you do, but I am sure that Nikon users do. Yes, a few years ago, not many years ago, maybe last year, 2 years, 3 years ago maximum, Nikon was going bankrupt, and basically it was a dead company. But still, they issued new cameras, and today the new Nikon Z6 Mark III. I'm not going to get into this camera today. I'm going to speak about this small Nikon miracle, why they still survive, and what they're doing. So let's start. I was always amazed to see that many Nikon users or Nikon users that were not aware of the situation of their favorite brands. Yeah, they didn't seem to know that they had really big financial problems, and actually they survived thanks to two things. First, Sony, that actually helped Nikon a lot. Why? Because they sell their sensor, so it was logical to help your clients to make sure you keep selling them something. That was very logical. And also the Japanese government, because it is a matter of pride that a historic company like Nikon cannot disappear, and this is why they survived. But also see that not many people are aware about how small Nikon is. Obviously, when I say how small, I don't speak about a 10 persons company. I speak a lot larger company, obviously. But compared to Canon or Sony, they are so tiny. This is a really tiny company, and many people don't realize that when you are that small, you don't have a lot of margin to make a commercial mistake or technological mistake or strategical mistake. And the problem that Nikon was, accumulating all three mistakes. So that was a massive problem. But Nikon is still here, and we're going to see why. This is why that always makes me smile when I see a Nikon user looking at Olympus or M system in their financial situation, like laughing or they were in the exact same situation, except that they were getting some help. Okay, so really, what happened to Nikon? Well, actually, they had exactly the same problem as Canon. They did not believe that reflex camera DSLR would be over sooner or later. They believe that a real photographer will always prefer a reflex camera. So for them, looking at Sony mirrorless and other format mirrorless was like a toy, not really a tool for photographer. But the public didn't think this way. So faithful Nikon user kept waiting. But actually, many other or new arrived to the camera market decided to buy something else, like a Sony. If we look at full frame, Sony was their main competitors. But if you look at the APS-C, they had competitors also from Fujifilm, Sony in APS-C. And if you look at any other mirrorless, you had also Lumix, OMD, Olympus. So really, it was tough time for them. So they decided to create their first mirrorless camera, the Z6 and the Z7. But it was obsolete before starting. Obsolete compared to what? Compared to what Nikon was doing in DSLR and what Sony was doing as a mirrorless camera, or Fujifilm or OMD or all this, okay? By the time it was not OMD, it was Olympus still, okay? Or Lumix. So actually, it was really hard to seduce new Nikon user. You could seduce older user probably, but the new one was really hard. And that was a massive problem because they had to spend a lot of money to create these new camera. And the problem is they didn't sell them well. So it's not like Canon, that is a massive, huge company that could overcome their Canon R, that was also a really limited camera compared to what Canon could make. And but people were expecting something a lot better. So it was a big problem, but Canon has money to be able to wait, and they make much more money in other businesses. It's true that Nikon has other branches other than just photography, but still, it's still really small. They cannot afford to be waiting for years to make money. But still, they survived. Why? So, how did Nikon survive? Well, the money side, I just said, the Japanese government and Sony. But I think the main reason is the Nikon user. This is a different type of guy. it's not like other photographers. They are different. Obviously, I don't want to offend anyone. Some people will laugh, some people will think I'm right, some people won't agree, but it doesn't matter. But really, I've noticed that when you speak to a Nikon user, you actually show your camera and says, look, my camera do this, this, and that. And he says, oh yeah, that's nice. And is your Nikon able to do that? No. Would you like to have a Nikon camera that can do that? Yes. Why don't you change brand? No. Eh? No. They're faithful. They don't change. They say, well, probably one day Nikon will do it also, and then I will decide if I buy it or not. They are so different. Sometimes they're a bit show off also. They always convinced to have the best tool, and that's good. Obviously, when you have a camera to think this is the best for you, that's recommendable, obviously. But sometimes they just look at you like, I'm a Nikon user, you know, or means I know what to do. I know about cameras. I know about photography. Some people are about, yeah, not too nice, but that's a minority, obviously. But this attitude is really funny, and it's great for Nikon, obviously. Actually, a few years ago, I made a poll in my Facebook. I was asking, do you use Nikon or do you use Canon? And do you shave with Gillette or with Wilkinson or other brands? And I would say 80% of Canon user actually use Gillette blades, okay? And maybe 80% of Nikon user were using Wilkinson or a third brand that was not Gillette, okay? And you see that they just think different, they're different. And it's true that very often you notice a Nikon user, their priority is photography, not the gear. They're not techno freaks. They like what they have, but they're not running after the latest technology, the latest tool. They want to use what they have, and they have a really different way of thinking. Obviously, this is a bit like cliche what I'm saying, and not everyone is like this, but I've noticed it. Nikon users are, yeah, very often really faithful, really they have a very different attitude towards their gear and towards other brands. That's clear. So let's see how they survive. When you have to make a new camera every 18 months or 24 months because otherwise your clients are rushing to another brand, that puts a lot of pressure on you. But when you have your financial problem that are helped by a government and a company like Sony, and your user are ready to wait, that takes away a lot of pressure, so you can actually sit down and work properly and issue good products. So the first step was to confirm they were going mirrorless with the Z6 and the Z7. Obviously that was more like a misstep, because it was not as we could expect, the quality was not there, but it was a way of telling, guys, we will go mirrorless, okay? This is what we were able to make. It's not the best camera. If you want, stick to your D850 or your D750, stick to that until all mirrorless are okay. But if you want mirrorless, we have it here, okay? So, but let us work. And then they kept working. And one day they came out with the Z9, and many people were, wow, what is that? And Z9 is an incredible camera, and they made a big leap forward, matching other brands with their mirrorless technology. And they made exactly what should be made, the same as cars are making. You have the Formula One, and from this Formula One, you create new technologies, and then you play them in Mr. Everyday car or a different level of cars, all this. And they make that. They create this jewel called Z9, and then they use part of it on the Z8, on the ZF with this retro seduction. And then today the Z6 Mark III, which is again another big step forward. We're going to see why. So with the Nikon Z8, Z9, Z6 Mark II, Z7 Mark II, Nikon could say, yes, we are up to date in photography. What's about video? Yes, sure, Z9, Z8, great video tools, but steep price, not for everyone. And what's about this market that is want to spend around $2,500 US and no more? What did they have for them? Well, that's something, the Z6 Mark II, but now they have the Z6 Mark III. That is incredible. internal raw ProRes, 120 frames per second, 4K, no crop, or maybe I think 5% crop, that's nothing, but 60, no, at 60 frames per second, no crop. Incredible, really great features. So now they say with this Z6 Mark III, we are in the sub $3,000 camera with really advanced features. So now we're not a brand just for photography. We are also a video brand. Yeah, it's true, Z9, Z8 already said that, but we speak about something that is more affordable for larger market and more possible clients. And that's a big step ahead. And they're the first one in the world to present this stacked sensor that is partially stacked. What is that? It's stacked at the top and the bottom, actually. I don't know how exactly it works, but it seems that you have a really fast readout. It means no rolling shutter. So this is a big step ahead quality-wise. And now, yes, Nikon can say, we are on the video market with great tool and affordable tool. But it doesn't stop here. There is some more. So Nikon, that was actually in bankruptcy, they made money with the Z9, Z8, ZF, all these cameras, and they even bought Red cameras, which are video cameras, pro video cameras. And that's funny because actually Red cameras, they have a Canon EF mount for the lenses, and Nikon just bought it. And it shows two things. First, they do want to be in the video market with the Z9, Z8 and the Z6 Mark III, but also at a pro level with the Red brand. We're going to see what they're going to do, but obviously they're not just surviving anymore. They're living. They're getting really aggressive, and they're getting on the market, back to a place we hadn't seen them for many years. But still, Nikon has some work to do, and please, let's see what I want you to do. Still, I think that Nikon let us down on some point. When I reviewed the Z50, I like the camera, but they said they were going to present more and more APS-C lenses with stabilization, but actually their APS-C cameras like the Z50 is not stabilized, there is no IBIS, so they decided to put it in the lens. But the problem is full frame cameras by Nikon, they have an IBIS, so most of their full frame lenses, or all of them, I'm not sure, maybe there are some exceptions, they are not stabilized. It means if you want stabilization, you do need the APS-C lens with stabilization, and they only have a few of them, like 3 or 4, something like this. And that's a problem, because if you want another focal length, you need to buy full frame, but then you don't benefit of any stabilization, and that's a problem. And they said they would make some new lenses. So if you want to buy Nikon, obviously if you can buy a third party, maybe, I don't know if there's with stabilization, but still, you could buy third parts. But if you want Nikon, they don't have many lenses, and they need to take care of this APS-C market, because not everyone wants full frame, not everyone has the money for a full frame Z-mount lens, all this. So that's important. Also, they had a great success with the ZF or ZF camera and the ZFC, but I think it's same point. If you want to buy a camera with this retro look, you want to have lenses that match this look, and they don't have many. I think obviously you don't have to, you don't need to have all your lenses with two versions, a retro one and a modern one. I understand that, but they must make more lenses with this retro look, because some people bet on this look, bet on these cameras. They like the ZF or the ZFC, but probably if they like it instead of a Z8 and they get on ZF, it's probably because they want to have this special look, the special retro look. So you must give them or sell them some lenses that match the look. So this is something Nikon must solve. That's important, I think. So why did Nikon survive? Well, basically, thanks to their Nikon user that understood that you have to wait, being patient, let your brand work on what you want for the future, and don't put pressure on them. Because I see many Canon users, Sony users, other brand users that jump from one brand to the other. Obviously, there are some exceptions. Some Nikon users have also changed brands. But very often they rush through the latest camera thinking that without it they cannot make any pictures, when actually you don't need the latest camera. The best camera is the one you know perfectly, not the latest one. And it's true, I use several brands, okay, but it's for my work also as a YouTuber, also as a photographer, but I have to test many brands, okay. But I see some people, they are fully Sony, and next 6 months you see them again and they say, no, I'm fully Canon again. And then a year after, they're back to Sony, and then go to Nikon for a year, and then go back to Sony. You just kill the brand you like. If you like a brand, stick to it. Help them. That's the best way for them to survive. To know that it takes time to make good cameras. Issuing a new camera every 2 years is no good. It takes like 3, 4 years, 5 years to get something really different. So you have to be patient. So I think the patience of Nikon user has actually saved the company. And now Nikon can tell them, here's the new product, it's good level, as good as any other, or sometimes even better. And this is the way to show that it's important to be patient, wait for technology, wait for new things, instead of buying every 2 years a different camera, but it's not fully equipped with the latest technology. I think Nikon has proved right. Take your time and make things right. So thank you so much, Nikon user, for saving your brand, for being patient, although I don't have any Nikon camera, but I do like them, okay? So thank you to you, and congratulations to Nikon for making again a new camera. It is a top of the range camera, top quality camera. Congratulations. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The small button down here, a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, gibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Also leave you links of my gear on Amazon, links of everything I reviewed by K&F Concept, Sandmarc Flashes by Westcott, more affiliated links, and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.